Alright, what's up, guys? Anybody who's here live or afterwards, we'll give it a little bit to get going here. Hey, Mike, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Hope you had a great weekend. What's up, Liberty Tree? Good to see you. Hope everybody's weekend was excellent. Irving, hello, hello. Well, yeah, when you can be safely available, Irving, it's great to see you. Ah, doing laundry. Fun, fun. Hey, Paula. Good to see you guys. Thanks for being here. So, I'm sorry I didn't go live yesterday. I was just trying to keep up with the pack the whole time. It was kind of a frantic ride. I didn't have any opportunities to live stream during the ride yesterday, and it was kind of windy and there was a lot of uphill. So I just wasn't able to do it. Everybody was in kind of a hurry and the whole thing was kind of rushed. So it didn't work out, and that just wore me out even more. Hey, Big Boys PEV, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're still recovering quickly, as quickly as is possible. Anyway. So I found another one. To my amazement, I found another one, and we're going to talk about it here in a little while. So stay tuned. I'm still in disbelief, honestly. I can't believe there it is. It doesn't make any sense, but we'll talk about that some more here in a little bit. Oh, good. New phone. That's always good. Uh-huh. Well, hey, Danny, what's going on, buddy? Hey, Laney Grace, what's going on? Hello, hello. So, another hint. This is what we're going to talk about in a little bit here. I found one in my size. It's incredible that I found a different one that's not my size, but it's astounding that I found one in my size and it's close by. And right now I'm looking for an ass to pull about another $46 out of, and then it will be mine. So I already pulled everything there is out of this ass. So I gotta probably find another ass that's got at least $46 in it. And then we're good. But I don't know. There's got to be a string or two I can pull and work that out tomorrow, I'm thinking. But it's just like by the grace of God, it's a miracle. It's like if I ever find one of these in my size, I'd probably never let it go. And then there it is. There's one in my size. Like, okay, I guess we got to figure this out now. Uh, Oh, he gave you some leg medicine, Danny? That's good. Oh, getting ready for that snowstorm. Big boys, yeah, I saw that coming. And hey, baby love. Sorry if I missed you a second ago. Good to see you. Good to see everybody who's here. Thanks for being here. Uh, yeah, but it's become known to we can fool the YouTube gods by saying leg medicine. So it is now known as leg medicine. Doesn't matter what you're using it for, it's still Shane's special leg medicine. Hey, Shane's here. Shane of Shane's Special Leg Medicine is actually here in effect right now in the chat. What's up, buddy? So, yeah, anyway. Shout out to everybody who's here. Oh, you did a wetlands ride today? That's awesome. I'm hoping if we're still doing the Thursday one, I'm hoping to be doing it on something very special. If I can find another $46 between now and then, well, I gotta wait until tomorrow. I don't, I'm expecting money to clear tomorrow, but I'll need $46 more than that to go and get something very special that I would use on the said wetlands ride if we're going and doing that. Oh, it's it's a weird way to get a stiff neck. Brandon, good to see you though. So I found another Le Mans Zurich, guys, and it's my size, and it's close by. And I don't know. I'm gonna have to. I don't know what I'm gonna do. What am I gonna do to put the rest of it together? Um, yeah, that's good advice. Don't get a Viagra stuck in your throat. They come in chewable form now. Remember, Blue Chew. Don't take that stuff. Yeah, I found another Le Mans Zurich. It's amazing that there is a Le Mans Zurich road bike sitting behind me right now, even though it's not the correct size. It's amazing that I found one in intact, mostly original condition. And like, I don't know. I've only in the country, I've only found maybe a half dozen of them or so for sale at all. And there's one of them, the right size, in Las Vegas right now. And I got to figure out a way to switcheroo or something here, because that's the right one. And those things are incredibly rare. Do I listen to FM radio? Not really anymore. So I was gonna go get a vintage Dawes road bike tomorrow until I noticed that there was the most wonderful bike in the world in my size available also in Las Vegas. Oh, my virus protection ended 475 days ago. What am I gonna do? I guess I'll continue not renewing it. I love it when things like that pop up on my computer screen. But anyway, hope everybody had a good weekend. I got it handed to me yesterday. Shane knows. Shane saw me huffing and puffing. I just, we were going too fast. I couldn't slow down and do a live stream or, things that I wanted to do because the pace was just going a little too fast. Everybody was kind of just ready to get there. Yeah, I have messed with it a little bit. Big Boys PEV. I can't really say anything about it now. I have tried filming. I have to do a whole review and like the whole features and everything. And I'll be doing that soon. Um, but it's a little different than I would have expected, but it's interesting. You'll see. It's cool. It's not bad at all. So, I'll be able to tell you more about that soon. Well, I might have to tune in for that if I'm ever over that way. Liberty Tree. I just kind of quit listening to the radio here because it's just mostly commercials. And my Sirius XM finally didn't renew. I had it through an Apple account and couldn't cancel it until like the card expired, the debit card. So finally, like, I don't even listen to that anymore. Let's see, I gotta check notifications. Okay. Nothing life changing in the notifications at the moment. Just weather updates and what else? That might work actually, baby love. If Mike tried that. Remember, like, anybody remember back in the day, like, putting foil on the rabbit ears on the TV and moving them all around? Back in my day. It really worked though. If you put the foil on there right, and then you just like got the antennas in exactly the right position, yeah, it really does work. You can pick up some faraway stuff if you put the foil on there. Yeah, that's probably good too, Shane. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's like I don't. What is it about aluminum foil that makes it like an antenna amplifier? It's magic. Man, I'm still worn out. I had to go. I went and got groceries today. I probably shouldn't have done that, and then I could have gotten that other Le Mans Zurich. Um, but no, it's like I was kind of worn out from fairly hard pedaling yesterday. It wasn't a tremendous distance, but I was pedaling pretty hard, and yeah, exactly. Yeah, kind of figured, Shane. But no, I went and got groceries today on the slow bike, as they're called. The hybrid bikes are commonly referred to as slow bikes. It's the grocery getter. It's the one I got at the pawn shop for $90, and it's a good bike for going and getting groceries. I got a rack on the back, and um, I don't know, it's good. But I was pedaling up the hill this morning, or like I don't know, midday today, and like still worn out from yesterday, and I was just really feeling it. It's like, oh, the legs are just burning now. But I mean, there's gonna come a time soon when I'm going to have to ride hard for long distances every day, which is why I really want to get that Le Mans Zurich tomorrow. I got to figure that out somehow. I think that's the bike I'm going to ride to California, actually, because they're smooth and fast, and you're comfortable to ride all day, and light, and I don't know. So I think that could probably be it. If I have to cover great distances, I'll have to put a different set of wheels on it though, with some gravel tires, because there's going to be some dirt and mountain passes and stuff. So I don't know, but I think that's the one. Honestly, I think if I'm going to do a 327-mile plus bicycle ride, that's probably the beast to do it on. And there happens to be one in the right size in Las Vegas. And tomorrow, somehow, by the grace of God, I'm going to work this out. And then that could very well be the thing that we take to California. And I'll keep training on the Schwinn. The Schwinn's a good size, and it still needs a little work. I need to probably replace the rear cassette and the chain, but then it'll be an otherwise good bike. It's a good roller. It did a good job yesterday. So I can put the training miles in on that thing and get the Le Mans all ready for a long trip. Yeah, no, it could be Liberty Tree. But the slow bike, it's not really a slow bike. It's got gears and you can go semi-fast on it, but not like road bike fast. Um, but it's good for getting groceries and stuff. And it was, a very good price at a pawn shop. So I'm not terribly worried about leaving it chained up outside of the grocery store. I would never do that. I'm never leaving a Le Mans Zurich chained up, well, really anywhere if I can help it. Not without keeping a close eye on it anyway. But that's another thing, nice thing about the Schwinn too, is I can do a lot of miles around here, a lot of training miles, and lock it up and not worry about it. It was 75 bucks at a pawn shop, and that's kind of the logic behind a bike like that. Because it's still good, it's still usable, it still works for what it was designed to do, but it's not much of a liability. There's not a ton of risk involved. It's I don't know. You get what I'm saying. But it was a slower than normal trip to the grocery store yesterday just because I was pedaling hard. Or today, I went to the grocery store today just because I was pedaling hard yesterday, and my old legs are still getting used to it. Progress is being made though, I gotta say. Like the more I do it, the easier it gets ultimately. And I remember the first time I got on that $90 pawn shop bike that I rode today to get groceries. I was huffing and puffing a lot, just doing easy stuff in like granny gears. But after a couple months or so of riding it, I'm still huffing and puffing, but I'm going faster, longer distances, and not huffing and puffing as much. So slow progress, slow and steady progress. It's a journey, guys. It's not an overnight thing. You don't just start, riding a bike, being like, screw it, I'm going to knock out 100 miles today, because it just doesn't go like that. So anyway, yeah, but as per the title earlier, to anyone who's still wondering, uh, anyone who can guess the weirdest way in which I've ever gotten a stiff neck um, is going to get something very special. So go ahead and sound off if you want to. If you can guess the weirdest way in which I've ever gotten a stiff neck and you win, there will be some kind of amazing prize that's yet to be determined. Sleep? No, that's a pretty common way that I get a stiff neck. Actually, think out of the box here, Paula. What would you consider maybe the least likely way that an idiot like me, like we're talking about, like how it happened to me here? What's the most unusual way that a dummy like me could have gotten a stiff neck? Showering? No, that has happened before, but that's still, I would say, another fairly common way. That's a good guess, Irving. I will say that's a good guess. I can't say I've ever gotten a stiff neck that way, though. I've been fortunate, I suppose. But there is an unusual off the wall way in which I've ended up with a stiff neck. Changing oil on a motorcycle. Let's see. There was something that I did. No, I cracked a rib. I was breaking something loose on the Honda Ruckus and I cracked a rib. That's what happened. No stiff necks from oil changes on motorcycles that I can recall. No, no, this is a different instance. There was a different way, a very unusual way in which I ended up with a stiff neck. Well, that's that's quite a stiff neck story, Laney Grace. So, yeah, whoever gets the answer right, um, gets to come and ride the Le Mans Zurich that I'm getting tomorrow if I get it tomorrow. And something else very special. Can't say that I've ever had a stiff neck that way, though, Irving. I have I have done some cooking on a campfire before in my life. I don't believe I got a stiff neck from it though. You guys are getting warmer, maybe. I would say. I might give hints along the way if anybody starts getting real warm. But anyway, I still can't believe that I found another Le Mans Zurich in the area and it's the right size. I'm still trying to process that. Okay, is that what the kids are calling it these days? Laney Grace? I don't know. Uh, I may have gotten a stiff neck that way at some point, Shane, either of those things, but that's not the strangest way in which I've ever ended up with a stiff neck. The most unlikely way, the most unlikely scenario that I would have, never thought of, but it happened. So, what else was I going to tell you about? Something else happened. Taking a dump. You're getting warmer, Big Boys PEV. You're on the right track. Big boys PEVs thinking outside the box. That actually has happened, Irving. When I used to go to a chiropractor, I had to go to like two or three of them before I found one that got it right. No, no, Irving. I have done that, but I don't think I've had a stiff neck afterwards. Maybe, I don't know. Uh, or something mundane I do every day, Shane. Um, or something mundane that I do occasionally when the mood strikes and when a lighter is present. You're 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 getting really warm now, Big Boys PEV. I gotta say. Hey, Kevin. Happy Sunday to you too, buddy. So, yeah, Big Boys PEV is on fire. Getting so warm it's almost burning. Hint, hint. No. No, I could see that happening though. I think that happened to my brother once. Got a stiff neck from burping. And this was a while back. This is not a terribly recent occurrence, but I did have to deal with a stiff neck for a few days following, and it was quite unfortunate and very unexpected. It's the first time that's ever happened. No, you were warmer before, Big Boys PV. You're cooling off now. No, no, I just don't think you guys are gonna get there. I thought you were almost gonna have it, maybe, but I think maybe it's lost now. We might have to continue, like, I might have to give you some time to think about it, and then we'll continue this discussion some other time. Because I don't think anybody's gonna get it tonight, honestly. No, I have envisioned such a scenario though, Irving. So, yeah, Shane ought to be a detective. So, sounds like pieces might be starting to come together. I gave you a hint when I said you were on fire. Big Boys PEV. Yep. Irving, ding, ding, ding for the win. Irving Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. I got a stiff neck from lighting farts because I'm getting that old. That I guess, I'm going to have to start limbering up first when an opportunity arises, but you might not always have time to limber up first. So sometimes you just got to reach for a lighter and hope for the best. And that's what I did. And I wound up with a stiff neck. And that's why they say lighting farts can be very dangerous. And they're not kidding. So watch out now. Yeah, you guys all got very close together. And Shane, just about came out with it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, be careful. So there you go. Now you have it. That is the strangest way in which I've ever ended up with a stiff neck. And it's very dangerous. So, I don't recommend it. Or you could get a stiff neck or maybe even worse. Yeah. Well, the problem is I'm just, the old bones are getting a little creaky, you know. I'm going to have to, when I think that there might be a necessary, you know, um, I might just have to stay more limber, I guess. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how this goes over time, how this progresses, the situation. And, am I past this point in my life where I'm able to do that at will now? Is there like a shelf life for that sort of thing? So I guess time will tell. Anyway, I sure appreciate you guys coming and spending a little time tonight. And I'm still trying to process. There's another Le Mans Zurich. There's one sitting right behind me right now, a Le Mans Zurich road bike, and they are absolutely magnificent. And it's incredible that I found one where I did for what I did, but it's not the right size. I'm a little too big for it. And it's a very rare bike, and you hardly see them anywhere. Um, but as it turns out, there's one, the right size, actually very close to where I am right now. And I gotta figure that out tomorrow. 2 new tires for the Yumi Hawk Pro. How much do I think they are per tire? I would guess they're pretty expensive. I don't think those are cheap tires. Big Boys PEV, but I couldn't even come up with a real guess, honestly. Um, I really wouldn't know. I would guess probably at least $60 ish each, something like that. But I couldn't really even. I wouldn't know. I don't even know exactly what size tires it takes. But I know some can be very expensive and others can be like $20. or $30. But I've seen bicycle tires. I've been looking at road bike tires, and you can get road bike tires that are 100 and something bucks each. Which, I'm not about to do that around here with all the pokey stuff in the road and broken glass and stuff everywhere. I'm not about to ruin some fancy bike tires in this town. Oh, that's cheating, Shane. Yeah, but $100 each is $100 a tire. That's like, cause I know how fast you go through high performance scooter tires. On a high performance scooter, they just chew up the tires a lot faster. So if they're $100 each, that's a lot. That's kind of an expense, I guess. Um, I mean, you could get car tires for $100 a piece. But yeah, I mean, good tubeless tires are going to cost money, and they wear out. That's their nature. But it's never fun having to buy new tires. I know it sucks. I'm gonna have to probably put new tires on the Schwinn here at some point. As it turns out, it's got the original tires on it. I thought they looked kind of new, but no, it's the ones that came on the bike, and they got to be about 13 years old or so. And the back one's kind of lumpy, but for now it'll work. They're still holding air, but tires only last for so long, that's for sure. And it's never fun to have to, like coming up with the cost of replacing tires, and especially if you're changing them yourself. So, I don't know. I'd rather not have to buy any tires or anything for a while myself. I'm going to have to get them on the Schwinn eventually, but in the meanwhile, like we're just going to until they start to just kind of dissolve. I guess we'll keep going. But one of them actually, like the sidewall is starting to come apart. The back tire, the sidewall is kind of coming apart a little bit. But it's got the steel things in there, like the rings in there, so it could have been, I guess, on a tubeless rim. It's not a tubeless rim or tubelessable rim, but on the right rim, it could have been a tubeless tire, maybe. I don't know. I'm still not an expert on road bike tires. But yeah, $100 a tire for scooter tires. That's I get it. I know they're good tires, but that's too much. So I'm trying to think. I'm trying to have. I got to get inspired. I got to. I have to go get that bike tomorrow, straight up. So somehow or another, it's going to work out. There's got to be something that I haven't thought of yet, or maybe I end up with a little more tomorrow than I'm expecting. I've got some money clearing tomorrow, which is what kind of makes this even sort of almost possible. Um, but there's a little bit of a gap to close, so I don't know. I gotta figure that out. I'm still trying to figure out the Uber Eats. Like they'll every 2 or 3 days they'll send me a thing. Why don't you finish your, whatever and get back out on the road? It's like, well, I kind of tried. So I don't know what their deal is. I have a valid driver's license. It's in my pocket right now. It did arrive. I did scan it and upload it. They did accept the picture of it and everything. And then it never went through for some reason, and nobody can figure out why. Yeah, well, I mean, tubeless tires, I know that that's an expensive tire, but it still sucks. It still sucks to have to buy tires. I know it. You just, from another rider's perspective, I know you just want to go and ride the thing and not have to do anything to it, especially expensive things. But, I mean, that's another thing I like about that Schwinn. And thanks again, Big Boys PEV. It's not the Schwinn that we originally talked about that you sent the money for, but we did end up with a classic, well, a not new Schwinn road bike. And it just needs, a few new parts and a little bit of love, and it's going to be as good as anything, really. And that's one thing I love about these bikes, really, is they don't need a lot. And that's kind of a relief. They're generally reliable. Once you've got, decent stuff and newish tires, you can really kind of go for thousands of miles. But scooters are so much more convenient and easy and, much faster than riding on a bike, usually. And, worth spending the little extra money on, I guess. Upload everything one more time. I don't know what you mean necessarily, Big Boys PEV. Somebody's making some kind of noise outside, going up and down, doing something. I don't know. None of my business. Just hearing unusual noises outside. Maybe I can wrestle with this guy on the Le Mans a little bit and be like, look, dude, I have one. I can put a completely original bike together my size. Like the one that he's got, it's not completely original, but it's in excellent condition. Between the one I have now and the one that he's got, I can make a completely original Le Mans Zurich in my size and still have another complete bike. The one sitting behind me is not completely original anyway, but it has the original parts that the other one doesn't. So between the two bikes, I can make one 100% original Le Mans Zurich in the correct size. But because of the fact that the other one that I haven't bought yet is not completely original either in the right way, the things that you would want to be original are not. But the ones that you would want to be original and the one behind me are. So yeah, that could be an edge that I can use to get it for what I've got. So fingers crossed, guys. This is going to take a miracle to do this, but it's kind of like, it's a miracle anyway that I found the damn thing in the first place and that it's close by and that it's the right size. I mean, those three things just don't happen together. So I don't know. Maybe we can will this into fruition, guys, but I need happy thoughts. I'm going to see what I can work out with this guy tomorrow. Yeah, that's awesome, Big Boys PEV, and I'm glad to hear it. I'm gonna try and get the bike tomorrow that I'm gonna ride to California, most likely. Um, but riding a bike is good for you. If you can get out there and do it once in a while, you'll be really glad that you did. I feel better after every bike ride that I take. And I'm never going to be the picture of health again, and I'm certainly not young anymore, but you can still, even if you've got some things ailing you, if, I don't know, if your arms and legs more or less work, you can get out there and do some pedaling, and it really feels great. No, that's something else. That was a Dawes that I was gonna go get until I saw that there's another Le Mans Zurich for sale. And it's the right size, and it's like, oh my god, I have to get that because that's the bike of my dreams, and it's the most wonderful thing I've ever ridden in my entire life. Bicycle wise, anyway. But should I not be able to work it out on the Le Mans Zurich, which will make me break down and cry, there is always that Dawes that we talked about, Shane. Well, it's a really good bike. It's become my favorite bicycle in the world, and I'd always said if I ever find one in my size, I'll never let it go. And here's one in my size that I can almost afford tomorrow. And it's just like stars aligning. It's almost like God did it or something. It's incredible because you just don't see these bikes anywhere. And then here's one and it's the right size and it's cool and it's what I want. And I've got the parts that it's lacking, the original parts. I can make an original bike out of it. And I don't know. It's incredible. So hoping to end up with another Le Mans, but that Dawes is awesome too. And I can definitely afford the Dawes. But the Le Mans is a like way better bike. Anyway, my laptop's not charging again. What else is new? I gotta put it in exactly the right position and say nice things to it and stuff like that, and then it'll work again. It is definitely. I feel much better in that regard now, Big Boys PEV, and that's actually making my ailments, uh, not quite as bad. Just, like better cardiovascular health, breathing a lot more, forcing oxygen through my bloodstream. It's a good thing to do to yourself. Hey, Daryl Land lurking in Texas. Good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend. So, anyway. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I hope you're doing well. Thank you. It's always great to get to spend some time with you guys, and I sure do appreciate you being here and taking the time. Oops. Um, Sorry, I was messing with something. So, hope everybody's got a good week ahead. I guess we're past all the holiday stuff now, huh? You know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Time for things to hopefully get back to some kind of normal now, I guess. Hopefully. I'm always, I enjoy the holidays. Yeah, everything is expensive. I'm sorry to hear that, Kevin. But yeah, I always enjoy the holidays when they come around to some extent, but I'm always also very glad when they're over. Wow, that's crazy if you get some snow from this storm. I know a lot of people are getting snow or gonna be getting snow. All right. See, I gotta check something on the computer. Hold on, guys. Enjoy some laser patterns while I'm doing something. There it was. I knew it was coming. I could feel it brewing for about the last 11 minutes. And then it finally came through. There might be another. I think it's entirely possible. Thank you. Thank you, Daryl. I appreciate you. So, let's see. What can I do tomorrow to make this work? I don't know how far the guy is away either. I think I can ride that bike home. If I can put the deal together, I think I can ride that guy's bike home, or it'll be my bike then at that point. But I don't know how far away he is. I'll have to get there somehow, of course. So I have to allow for that. I'm just gonna have to offer the guy less money and be like, hey, I really need you to do this. So, come on, man, hook it up. So, I don't know. I can't wait to give you an update on that. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see what I can work out with that tomorrow. I'm gonna see how much comes through in the morning. Should clear my account by, I don't know, 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, Daryl in. The guys, I can't say exactly because I don't want somebody that's listening, somebody that's lurking maybe, Big Boys PV, to go looking for it because it's an exceptionally good deal. I am about $46 away from his asking price, but I think, like I can go there and say, "Hey, I've got one and I know exactly what it's supposed to have on it and this one doesn't." So maybe we can work something out. But even though his doesn't have the thing that mine does that I could take off of mine, it's still like what he's trying to get for it is in unbelievably incredible deal. How do how do I make it where when live streams moderators can't just make themselves a mod? Like none of my moderators made themselves mods. I kind of owe you after this long, Daryl Lynn. Hold on, it's not letting me do it again. I'll have to add moderators next time. And hey, Chet, what's going on, buddy? So yeah, Big Boys PEV. I can't tell you exactly how much the bike is, but I'm $46. I expect to be about $46 away from his asking price, but I might be able to negotiate with him. So that's the plan for tomorrow, I guess, unless I hit a jackpot or something in a casino, which I think is unlikely because I'm not planning on doing any gambling. But you never know. Huh, I don't know about that, Daryl Lynn. Like right now, I couldn't even add anybody as a moderator. It's not letting me do it. Sometimes it just doesn't work. I think there's something running in the background on my phone. So, hey, what's going on, JPL Rides? Good to see you, buddy. So I gotta figure out where this guy lives, the guy with the bike. And then, like, how I'm gonna get there. But I think he's close. It shows a kind of general map, and he's in the... Like, he's not on the other side of the valley or something is what I'm trying to say. He's not, like... It's not gonna be like a $40 Uber ride or something. So I gotta figure out where he lives, though, so I can figure out how much it's gonna cost and how I can get there. Or how I like if I take an Uber or how many buses I'm gonna have to take or whatever. But I think I can ride the bike home if I could work this out with the guy. So fingers crossed. Hey, Carrie, what's going on? Yeah, no, Daryl Lynn, I think like if they comment or something, you should be able to tap on it if it's working properly, and you should be able to unmoderator them. Um, I don't think I've done it before. I don't think I've needed to, but I don't know exactly how it works. I don't have a gravel bike JPL rides, but I found another Le Mans Zurich that is the right size, and I think I can put some. I know some gravel wheels and tires that I could put on it, and I could make that the bike that I ride to Santa Monica. So I'm trying to get another Le Mans Zurich tomorrow that's the right size. Actually, I have one sitting behind me that's magnificent, but it's just not the right size. So, and these things are incredibly rare and very, very good bikes and just unbelievably smooth. And it's, I don't know, it's amazing that I found one in the right size and it's close by. This might never happen again. So I could make it like a hybrid road gravel bike, like 20% gravel, 80% road, maybe, is what I'm thinking I could do with a Le Mans Zurich. And it's a steel frame bike, Reynolds 853 steel frame. So it's super lightweight and very strong, but also incredibly smooth. So it'd be good for long distances and, hitting the gravel parts, the mountain passes. So hopefully I can work that out tomorrow. I can make it between the Le Mans Zurich that I have sitting behind me and that one. I could make that one into a 100% original parts Le Mans Zurich in my size, but I would, before I took the ride, I would switch the wheels out. Yeah, no, that is true. But these, like this one, makes it's such a good bike as it is, it's just right. It's for long rides and being comfortable the whole time. Like the steel bikes, especially the Reynolds, like the really lightweight Reynolds frames are just it just makes the ride so smooth. But it's funny that the Le Mans Zurich that I have sitting behind me is like 5 pounds lighter at least than the aluminum Schwinn road bike. So the steel Le Mans is much lighter than the aluminum Schwinn. No, I see them though. They look cool. And, there's like people in the ride that have them and stuff, but I don't know. I've never really ridden them. JPL rides. But I was thinking a couple of days ago I could, when I was riding the Le Mans Zurich that I have, I was thinking to myself, if I had one of these in the right size, I could absolutely ride this all the way to the coast. So maybe that's a possibility. I mean, fingers crossed, guys. I'm gonna go try to get this one tomorrow if I can work it out with the guy. But it'd be a lot cheaper than like buying an actual gravel bike or making one that's super custom. It's a road bike. It's a long haul road bike. Like a tour race bike, but meant for, going distances, but fast and comfortably. So, I mean, the one that I have is 56 centimeters. The frame, the one that I want is 61 centimeters, which is the right size for long rides for a person my size. No, I understand. I used to feel the same way. And for around town trips, I think flat bars make more sense. But for long rides, once you get used to them, the drop bars, you know, are more efficient, I guess. Like you can pedal more efficiently when you're in that position. But the 56 centimeter Le Mans Zurich that I have sitting behind me is really pitched forward, so it's harder for someone my size to ride. But the one that's the right size that hopefully I can get tomorrow, I would be a little more upright on, even though it's still a drop bar race bike. I don't know what year the other one is. I'm guessing mine is a 97. Best I can guess, mine's a 1997, and the one I'm looking at is probably a 2000, 2001. Still the entirely steel frame. The newer ones have a steel and carbon frame, and they're a lot less desirable. But this one, the one that I want to get is also like the one behind me, the full steel frame, the more desirable 853 Reynolds tubing throughout. But I think the one that I already have is like a 96 or a 97. But I was thinking about if I'm gonna take the remaining parts that I would need to make an original Zurich off of the one sitting behind me, I might turn this one, depending on. I'm offering it to the bros in the group. Anybody that like wants to thinks it's a cool bike around here, maybe wants to ride it or something. I'm gonna give somebody a shot to buy it whole, but it's never gonna be a completely original bike. So if no one buys it as is, I might turn it into a flat bar bike, the 56 centimeter Zurich, which would be an incredible thing to ride, I'm sure. But it all depends on how this goes tomorrow. I was all set to go. I might have bought two other vintage road bikes tomorrow. A Peugeot and a Dawes, a French bike and a British bike. Like 80s, both from the 80s, an early 80s Peugeot and a late 80s Dawes. Um, and both of those would add up to a little less than the total cost of the Le Mans that I found randomly. It's like, oh my God, how in the hell is this? Like, how the hell does it even exist around here? And I didn't know about it until now. It depends. I mean, they could be anywhere from, $75 or so on up to hundreds, things that I'm looking at. But sometimes you could find, and I'm finding, I just need to have more space. I'm going to need to get a storage unit or something and then just be ready to buy bikes when I find the deals, because I'm finding gems for $50 and they only need a couple of things. You find a lot of bikes that maybe need a brake cable or the tires are flat or something like that, but otherwise it's a cool classic bike and somebody's just looking to unload it and they're like pretty much just give me whatever for it and take it with you. So I don't know. I'm curious to see how tomorrow goes, but it's like I got knots in my stomach right now. I found the bike of my dreams, and I'm a little short. I'll be a little short of what the guy's looking to get for it, but maybe somehow the stars still align. Like if it's meant to be, it will be. But it's like I'm gonna probably be waking up every 15 minutes or so tonight, and checking my watch. Is it time yet? Is it time to get up and figure this out? I don't know. Like, I got ants in my pants. Until it either works out or not, I'm just gonna have ants in my pants. That's awesome. I saw a World Sport for sale recently around here. I think it was a World Sport. JPL rides. Yeah, no, I know. It's hard to get rid of a bike that you loved. Um, it never sits well, but they are around. Classic Schwinn's of varying vintages, like they seem to hold on. There aren't so many of the modern ones. Like the modern ones just kind of get used up and thrown away, it seems like. But the older, um, even the late '80s would have probably been like the Japan-made Schwinn era, and they're still, I mean, they're as good as the Chicago Schwinns, really. Um, but yeah, I don't know. There's still a bunch around. I'm still seeing a lot of 80s and 90s Schwinns, but like my Schwinn is probably about a 2012 ish, and you hardly see any of them. I hardly see any of them, but it's a much newer bike, and they sold tons of them. There should still be tons of them around, but I just don't see any of them. But yeah, just like certain era bikes, just classic bikes are cool, man. They really are. I love to ride them. I think they have much more character and personality than newer bikes. I have nothing against newer bikes. I mean, the technology is amazing. If you want to win the Tour de France or something, you're going to want a new bike with all the fancy stuff on it, probably. But if you want to go cruising, if you want to do a group bike ride, if you want to feel good riding through the neighborhood, get yourself a cool vintage bike. Yeah, I don't see a lot of new Schwinn bikes or newish Schwinn bikes anymore. The one that I ended up with is actually a lot more rare than I would have thought. Um, Considering how many of them they originally sold, I just haven't seen really any. But I do see a lot of cool vintage Schwinn's, 80s, 70s, sometimes even 60s or before. Yeah, well, I mean, old is new again. People are realizing, I think we've peaked when it comes to a lot of things. Like some of the best stuff is behind us. Like this bike that's sitting right behind me right now, a 1996 or 97 Le Mans Zurich, is better than any new bike that I've ridden. Um, it was just right. Like, I don't think it gets better than that. Like, there are things that are like the new bikes with all the, techie stuff and whatever, they feel just kind of plasticky. Nothing wrong with them. They're better ultimately, I guess, but they just don't, it just doesn't feel the same. So it's no wonder the older bikes are becoming so popular, is because, I mean, they're just cool. They're fun. If I can't get this Le Mans, this other Le Mans tomorrow, I'm probably going to get a Dawes and a Peugeot, early 80s Peugeot and a late 80s Dawes. And neither are as nice as a Le Mans Zurich, but they're still cool vintage road bikes that are fun and awesome and much different than anything you're going to find now. So, I mean, that's another thing. You can find a good, cool vintage bike depending on what you're looking for. You could spend very little money. Or you could spend tons of money. Some of them are worth thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. I'm not going to get any of those, probably. Not anytime soon. Well, what's the size of it? I saw a couple of them here. There's one person that has two of them here that I think they're trying to get 150 bucks each for, which is a pretty good deal, I would think. Um, it makes me kind of wish I had the money for those, but the right size Centurion and the right configuration can bring a lot of money, I know. Didn't you find that one in the trash or something? JPL Rides? Oh, wow. Cool. Oh, 54 centimeter? That's a pretty common size. You ought to be able to find, that's like a medium sized frame. That's the kind that you're likely to find the most buyers for, I would think. Yeah, that's crazy that somebody would throw something like that away. I mean, a junk Centurion is worth probably at least 100 bucks. So I don't know. People throw some crazy things away, I guess. But there's an example right there. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Somebody threw that bike away, but somebody is dreaming of that exact bike right now. They're fantasizing about it and would do anything for it. Oh yeah, I used to do that with BMX bikes. In my BMX days, I'd start with a frame and then just say, okay, what are we going to put on it? And see where we end up. I used to do that all the time. And I'm likely going to be, the laser's dying. I'm likely going to be selling just frame and fork sets at some point. Like if a bike, if it's not worth maybe fixing a bike, but the parts are worth money and the frame's good or something, maybe part it out. But I gotta figure out a deal on that Le Mans tomorrow. And then I'll be good. I can make a completely original Zurich in the right size, like all original parts between two of them. And that would be just incredible. That's a dream. I mean, it's like I don't know. It's a hell of an opportunity, I think. So we'll see what happens here. But worst case, I mean, there are always going to be cool vintage bikes out there, and that's what's so awesome about it is, there's always something out there that would suit you. You just got to go looking. And, something within your budget. I've found two bikes now under $100, and the Le Mans that I do have was much less than the like average of what they're going for these days. We're about to lose the laser guys. So it's amazing. It's the most beautiful, wonderful bike. Like I saw this one that I have now, like 3 months before I actually ended up with it. I was like, wow, that's cool. I didn't think it was real at first. I was like, there's no way. I came from a pawn shop. I got a Le Mans Zurich in a pawn shop, and they had no idea what it was, and I really kind of took advantage of them. Um, but you got to know what you're dealing with when you're paying for stuff, I guess, or selling it. But it worked out for me, and I guess they probably didn't have a ton of money in it, so I suppose it worked out for them too. And there it goes. It's almost done. The laser. Ah, it's gone. That's the end. That's all she had. It wasn't anywhere near fully charged, of course. Is it gonna do that thing again where it comes back to life for a few seconds like it did last time? We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, it happens. It was running off a battery. It's not plugged in right now because my laptop isn't charging right now. I gotta figure that out again. But anyway, yeah, I guess I'm getting ready to do that myself, JPL rides. But I sure do appreciate all you guys coming and hanging out tonight. It's always nice to just get to hang out and talk with you, look at some laser patterns while they still last. And yeah, well, no more zoning out to laser patterns tonight, I guess. Shane and everybody. But I suppose, yeah, I suppose it's time to wrap it up. I need to make some dinner. I have dinner too. I went grocery shopping. I'm gonna like make a frozen dinner in the oven because they come out better that way, and I don't have a microwave anyway. Um, but yeah, big day tomorrow. Something's gonna happen somehow. By the end of the day tomorrow, I might have another bike. We'll see. I need to get rid of a couple that I do have already, though. Um, yeah, well, there you go. Better eat your dinner then, I guess, Shane, and I'll get cracking on mine. I was going to make a pot pie, but it takes an hour and 10 minutes in the oven, so I got this, like, beer battered chicken fingers and macaroni and cheese, I think. One, like a different one, and it takes, like, 35 minutes or something, I don't know. I can wait that long, I guess. But anyway, I guess it's dinner time. Better do that. So, hope you guys had a great weekend. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. And I will spend some more time with you. I'm sorry I couldn't catch up with you yesterday, but the pace was going fast and I was struggling to keep up. But thank you, Lainey Grace, and everybody. Thanks for being here. Love you guys. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you again real soon. Could be a big day tomorrow, so stay tuned. Make sure you have your notifications on. I might have some incredible news for you. So, yeah. Oh, there you go. Oh, that sounds nice, Shane. Well, enjoy that. So, thanks again, guys, and be well, and I'll see you again soon.